happy to be. I think I'm dying here, man.
Through the haunted mansions and floors, the creep, they lead us to the places from which we dare not peek. A journey through fear and the realm of the night. In every word they speak, our hearts ignite with fright. Welcome to the horror show, the Deep Cut Podcast, where nightmares come alive, ready to take their blow. Tune in to the chilling delight on the airwaves of the night. Let the darkness grow. Let the darkness grow.
Aw, yeah! It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and...
Evil Dead Inkson. I never killed a man for tonight.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure.
You just sounded like Brian Posehn, just pretty sure.
Never killed a man for tonight.
Rodeo
I'm pretty
clowning.
sure.
Agent McManus, Detective McManus.
I don't know.
Oh, Lord. Here we are, another 2 weeks down, back in the cabin. The dynamic duo, yet again.
It's toasty over there.
Getting nice and warm next
by
to
the
the fire.
fire.
Got a lot of irons in the fire, you know. But that's right. It's time to continue our themed trek that we're in the middle of right now.
Yep, this is the halfway point. We're at Pax to the Max, Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we started out with a little cameo of Bill Paxton
Yep.
in The Terminator. Then we did a little bit more with Aliens. We get a slimy kind of character that is a total redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And this, we decided to go hog wild all out, man, because not only is Bill Paxton starring in this movie, he is also the director of this movie.
Mighty fine job, which we'll get into over this next hour, but...
Or it could be slightly, egotistical to be like, what? The only man that could direct this movie is me, and the only man that could star in this movie is also me.
That's some Clint Eastwood shit, I feel. But I think Bill Paxton had reached a point in his career where,
It's like 2001.
it's somewhere around there, 1, 2, somewhere around there, where, he'd been around for a hot minute, and it's like, let me try some other stuff, because if you dig deep into the Bill Paxton
encyclopedia.
his encyclopedia. He was the kind of guy who was always on set in his earlier movies like Weird Science and stuff like that, Mortuary, where he's sneaking off to the edit room. He's wanting to see how this is all put together. He's wanting to learn the craft of filmmaking.
Curious.
Yeah, not just a hired gun, so to speak. Come in, say my lines, and take off, dude. He really wanted to understand filmmaking. And, it's a natural progression. You get curious about certain departments, certain things, and then eventually you're like, you know what? I've been on enough sets, ran by enough, competent or incompetent people where it's like, maybe I could give that a go. Maybe give that a shot. And he does here. And good results. I've always been a pretty big fan of this movie.
Nothing to make me feel more inadequate than watching Bill Paxton's directorial debut be Frailty.
Yeah. This is a slept-on movie for whatever reason, but do you want to give the good folks out there in internet land, video sphere, audio sphere, give them a brief plot synopsis, and we'll jump on into this crazy-ass movie.
This is a movie that, occasionally when you watch those televangelists on TV that are really kind of going hog wild, this is a movie that's like, what if one of those televangelists is like, we should start killing people, but they're really demons. Yeah. And this is totally going to work. And I'm just going to bury them all in this garden that no one will ever look into, no matter how many human-sized mounds of dirt I put in it.
Yeah, I mean, you just plant pretty enough flowers. No one will look.
Yeah, I like we get to this makeshift cemetery, and there's just human-sized mounds all over, and we get to, like, a spoiler. We get to where, like, this might not be the body you're looking for. He could be over there.
Swerve, bro.
I lost track.
Yeah, and there are, like a dozen
At
burial
least
mounds?
enough that somebody should say something at some point. Like somebody that's maintaining this garden area.
Got bad gopher problem. Better call Bill Murray.
Yeah, apparently the only one looking after this rose garden is Bill Paxton's family.
Yeah, I guess. It's the Thurman, the town of Thurman, their public rose garden. And which, you live in a bigger town than me, but it still has, it's a very small town feel in your town. Like the township itself feels very small.
We would notice.
Town square.
We would notice several bodies buried in the town garden.
Yeah, I would assume, like, even the town I grew up in, where they have their flower gardens, would be, I mean, and that's like less than 1,000 people in the town. You would start to notice.
Somebody was going to drive by because they're not, like, stealth in any way, shape, or form. Oh, they try in some spots.
God's protecting you.
Some spots they try to be weirdly stealthy, like when they make their panel van, and when they decide to make their 2-story shed killing fields. But when they're burying people, they just like grab the lanterns. We'll just go out here in the middle of the night and just dig with all the lights on. We'll get into a fight while we're out here too. Why not?
Yeah.
No one's gonna come by and ask what in the world we're doing out here in the rose garden at 2:00 in the morning.
Also, sidebar, I may be misremembering this, but is the white supremacist, like, piece of trash guy that they could go knock on his door and ask for a tire iron, is that the guy from Aliens and also Shawshank Redemption?
I don't know.
I'm like 98% sure. Could be wrong. Someone in the comments will be like, "You're a moron. That's not him."
Bill Paxton's like, I know the perfect guy for this role.
Yeah, let's call it. The kind of looks like Billy Joel,
the guy that likes to take advantage,
or Billy Idol. I mean,
of Tim Robbins.
Not Billy Joel. One's good, one's not. You figure out which one.
I think both those Billies are fine.
One Billy is not. I'm not a...
Billy D. Williams is pretty good.
Yeah.
Billy Zane is really good.
Yeah, he's the man. Bunch of ho-dunk, po-dunk, well then they're motherfuckers. But,
all over this town, definitely.
Yeah. This is a really good, like, I don't want to say like a family movie, because...
I mean, it is a family film.
Yeah.
This is about a dad growing closer to one of his sons.
Yeah, and further
from the other.
But this is like, I don't know what this says about me as a human being.
This
but
just
like,
needs Papa Roach's Broken Home playing.
Oh God,
during it.
Yeah.
This is in that era. We could just do that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make that music video, put it on the channel, do Broken Home to this movie.
Fortunately, this has a pretty chill soundscape and soundtrack to it. Nothing, it never hit across that new metal.
I don't know how this
threshold.
movie in the early millennium avoided new metal. Everything got new metal.
Yeah,
Daredevil was new metal.
Yeah, and leather.
Bill Paxton's like, no new metal on set for Frailty.
No, thank you. But this is oddly enough, I have a few movies that to me are like my, not necessarily like I don't feel good movies,
food.
but like, yeah, these are comfort. Like if I want to just kind of lay around and relax, this is one that I reach for. This
Like
is
a
like
hangover movie.
And Secret Window. I love.
Still haven't gotten to that.
Oh man, that's so good.
I think I own it, but I still haven't gotten to it.
That's like, I'm not getting off of the couch today. Like I'm laying down on the couch. Yeah, just comfort. And I mean, this is a pretty like dark and disturbing movie when you really get into it. I mean, it's pretty gnarly, even though it's all for God. It's all for you, Damien.
Yeah, it's telling us that, all we really do need is God in our lives, and we'll all be fine.
Yeah, perhaps some work gloves, an axe named Otis, and a lead pipe.
Which Yeah, on the surface, you're like, yeah, Dad has gone insane. Which I like. That's just his character name. Is he's just Dad.
Yep.
We
Dad.
never get a name other than Dad.
Yep.
Which I don't even know if I noticed the first several times watching it.
I've seen this movie. I would say in between 20 and 30 times. 20, maybe more.
Minimum.
And not until, like, full disclosure, not until pulling up IMDb to look for a character name did I realize he's just Dad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, that, like, now it tracks. Like, I'm starting to go back in my mind and be like yeah,
Dad did this. Dad said that. Dad was doing this. Dad drove.
Yep. We know their last name is Meeks.
Yeah, Meeks.
But so Dad Meeks.
Yep. Dad, you assume, like, maybe like if you've only seen this once or twice, you'll think it's Otis because that's what's like etched into the axe. Which, again, like, it sounds crazy. Like, I just drove around and I saw the light shining through this barn, and there was like we got these magic weapons. Here's a pipe.
Yeah.
Here's an axe.
We're playing Clue up in this motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, like, here's a rope, and here's a pistol. It's a magic pistol.
Yeah, these bullets only kill demons.
Yeah. And, of course, one son's like, Dad's gone crazy. We need to get away from this 100%. And the other son's like, I think we should go on ahead and go with this. This is a great idea. In fact, I'm going to write my own list of people that I think need to be killed.
Yeah.
Those are totally demons as well.
Sidebar, the last time you visited, I had you watch Sasquatch Gang.
Yeah.
The lead kid in Sasquatch Gang is the little brother in Frailty. So, yeah, which is like, when I was watching Sasquatch Gang, when I first discovered it, I'm like, I know this kid.
I know you. I know.
Why
you,
do I
man.
know this kid? And then I'm like, I looked it up, and I'm like, holy shit, he's the kid from Frailty. So, yeah, doesn't even look the same at all.
Yes. Not everyone can be the kid from Nightmare 5 and just look like the same with dirt on their face.
Yeah. Yeah, literally looks like a kid cosplaying as an adult. Like, this is what grown-ups look like, right?
Yeah. Like, you open his shirt and there's another kid underneath that he's on the shoulders of, trying to buy an R-rated movie ticket.
Speaking of that, well, Meatballs is not R-rated, right? Or no, it is, and they want to go see it again. The little kid wants to go see it again.
Yeah, it's like if Porky's and movies like that were, for kids.
Oh, okay.
Like, Meatballs that's a weird series.
See,
I think there's an alien in the second one or third
I always
one.
get Meatballs confused with Porky, so I'm like,
It's
which one's the R-rated one? And then,
it's not a great movie.
Yeah.
Even with Bill Murray in it, like, he's just, I think they only had him on set for like a couple of days, and they really interspersed his stuff to make it seem like he's in the movie more than he is. And, like, they'd film most of it, and they're like, we need actually something funny in this movie. We don't have anything. We got to call Bill Murray.
Holler at Bill Murray to come save the day.
Come make this movie funny, because it's not.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but the other one wants to see the Warriors.
Yeah, like you do. You know. You a Warriors fan or no?
I am, but I was like, I don't know.
If you had the choice between Warriors and Meatballs, you're gonna go.
Oh,
see
if
Meatballs?
I knew ahead of time, like, I'll watch that. But on the surface, I'd be like, can we see Meatballs? It looks like I might be. Bill Murray's in it. The guy from Ghostbusters in it. Should be more fun. But
this is pre-Ghostbusters, though, isn't it? Timeline wise,
I don't know.
I don't. Also,
But if I didn't know what the movies were, I would, on the surface, be like, I want to see the other one.
Yeah, the one that looks fun.
Yeah, but after having, now I know what they both are. Yeah, I'll definitely give me the Warriors instead.
Yeah.
That's the last day of normal life for these kids. And I like that they're discussing this, like, as Dad's, like, outside walking in. Like, they are totally like, we're going to just ditch out and go to the movies tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Dad's is like, hey, didn't hear a word of that. What are you kids doing?
Making dinner and doing the dishes and, things kids did back in the day.
Yeah, went to my 9-to-5 job with a drill.
Yeah.
I set up my 401k, Dad.
Yeah, these kids are from a different era, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, when he's like, we need to build a trench, essentially, in this yard, and it's like several feet wide and several feet deep, and it's like, that'll take forever, Dad.
It'll take all goddamn summer. Well, you better get to digging.
Yeah, I know. I had to dig when I was much younger. I had to dig probably a hole, probably about 6 or so feet deep, but we used to have these railroad ties on the side of our driveway that were vertical.
Yeah.
And I had to dig down so we could pull these ties out and then concrete pour a wall in instead. And like probably a 10-foot like stretch, probably maybe that wide. That was all day long. So yeah, that's probably the most sympathetic scene in the movie, where he's just got his just beat the shit hands underneath the faucet, like
Oh god, yeah, just the pain.
And then he's doing his best Kill Bill, where he can't eat food.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's been punching a brick wall outside for Pai Mei.
Yeah, he's out there doing the 1-inch punch. Waking up in the middle of the night, starting to try and dig.
Dig. He's just shoveling his blankets onto his brother, like, I gotta dig the hole.
Yeah, until his dad locks him. Once he's done digging it, he locks him in there because he doesn't believe in God, which...
He's like, you're going to spoil this whole thing for me.
Going back to, like, when the dad is telling the story of seeing God or the angel or whatever, and he's, like, under the car, and then we have that, like, angel floating down to him or whatever. I can vividly remember the first time I saw this movie. I was at a buddy's house, and he had rented Frailty and Collateral Damage, and we watched Collateral Damage first, and my buddy was like, that was fucking terrible, and I was like, I like that, it wasn't bad. And then we started Frailty, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And especially when we saw the angel, I remember my reaction. I was like, oh fuck, it's a Jesus movie. Like, I just remember being like, oh my God, I'm in so much trouble. But then by the end of the movie, I was like, that was the fucking bomb. And my buddy was like, that was also terrible. Like, he was mad that he rented 2 movies he didn't like.
Do you think it should have been a more, like, Exorcism of Emily Rose type? Like, they didn't flat out show us what he's seeing? Like, if they kept it more like him saying to the kids, I saw an angel, and then we just cut to that, like, external shot of him just with, like,
his feet,
car
like,
flames and shit going around him, and we never see what he sees. Like, maybe. Would you like it better if they kept it like that ambiguous, maybe all the way until the very, very end? Yeah,
I think that, because that was one note when I was doing my research and I was watching special features and digging into this movie. The original work print or rough cut of this movie, we're shown what the dad sees as far as the demons, like right off the bat. And I think Stan Winston, because Stan Winston and Bill are really good friends, or were really good friends, and I think
might still be again.
Yeah, man, that's hard to say.
Yeah, they're both gone.
And I hope I'm not misremembering this, but I feel like Stan Winston told him, like, hey man, this movie is incredible. Hold off on showing that the dad is seeing what he's seeing, so it becomes a payoff. Don't ruin it too early for everybody. And I'm glad that it's structured the way that it is, but I feel like that's one thing. Seeing the angel, I feel, is a little early. It's almost jumped the shark, but it doesn't hinder. You know?
Nah, because, I mean, you could play it off as, like, this is what he thinks he's seeing.
Yeah, he's got a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And, you know, from breathing in
he's got CTE
metal.
from something. Maybe played high school football and too many stingers. I don't know.
Breathing in too much oil and car fumes and all that hooplery. But
it's still, this definitely is one of those rare movies that I feel warrants things you pick up on after you've watched it. Then you rewatch it.
Yes.
Like, you don't really take notice when Matthew McConaughey is talking with the FBI agent.
Old Powers Booth, man.
Yeah, Powers
Agent
Booth.
Doyle.
What a name.
Yeah.
You can't help but not have to do something amazing with your life if that's your name, Powers Booth.
That's a bad motherfucker too. Also,
that's a lot of pressure on your. That's what a shit move by the parent. Like, what's your kid's name gonna be?
Powers.
Powers.
Yeah.
What's his middle name? Payne. Powers Payne Booth.
Yeah, you better be either heavyweight champion of the world, like you better cure cancer. But he's also gone. So sadly,
Gosh,
all
we have is Matthew left, but
yeah,
we have scenes where he's going to almost like shake hands and then doesn't, and then when they both get into the car to go on the to where he's gonna take him to where the bodies are, like he's gonna do the thing where he puts his hand on the back of Matthew McConaughey's head to help him into the car, and he's like, I got it, because he doesn't want, because that's the later reveal is he also sees what Dad sees when he puts his hand on these demons.
Yeah, kind of like reliving your sins.
Yeah, so it's like that SNL skit of the trivial psychic. Like he can't physically have bare skin contact with it, otherwise you left a coffee in the cab on the way to work. You're gonna leave it in there, and you're wasting coffee.
Which also plays into the very, very end of the movie when he meets the other FBI agent that had let him into the building at the beginning of the movie.
It literally is like,
yep.
Hey.
Shakes his hand, and he's like, you're a good man, agent, whatever.
He's like, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him my name.
And it's super good. This
feels a little Dogma-esque to me when Matt Damon's like, you're a pure soul.
Yeah.
But you didn't say, God bless you, when I sneezed.
Get out of here.
You're getting off light.
But it's structured in a way like we had a lot of true crime stuff going on around this time. A lot of true crime movies and whatnot, and you can go a ton of different ways. And this movie manages to have some restraint, and I think it's we talked about it on the live stream on the channel a couple years back when we covered The Cell. Like, The Cell is one way to do a crime, like a true crime. You can go that route, or you can be a little more subdued, like Frailty. And I think Frailty delivers just as much, but in a much more like reserved manner. It feels, for this being Bill Paxton's like first movie as a director, it has a lot of like your Hitchcock stuff, and it's gonna build and take its time and let it breathe, and that's why I think it warrants multiple viewings, because like you said, you pick up on this extra stuff, and it's also like the dialogue is so enticing. You could just watch all these characters talk to one another,
Yeah, and McConaughey just has an interesting. I never really thought of him as being a good like monologuer, because he just kind of has that Matthew McConaughey way of saying things, but he does it pretty well. I mean, it doesn't hurt. This is in Texas as well, so he can kind of really lean into his that natural sounding ways. Yeah, he's just missing an all right, or I get older, they stay the same age.
Or a beep.
Beep. Would have been just as confusing a title, because I still don't know what Frailty is. Like, I don't.
Like a man.
What's the title about? I don't get that.
Like frailty, as in like your.
Outside of the title of this movie, I've never heard it ever like use frailty in a sentence that's not saying I just rented the movie Frailty.
Right, I don't know. I mean,
Frailty.
I would just assume like.
What is a frailty, sir?
Like the act of being frail. Like if frail. Like I assume that it's like your soul is frail. I don't know. I'm reaching super hard, but that's just what
Brutal Massacre.
Yeah, it's not one of those.
This is good. It's a real balls out title. Yeah. What are you gonna call it, Bill? Frailty.
Yeah. What the fuck's that mean? I don't know.
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah, it's different, and it's an intriguing type of movie, because you know what I guess would be a good comparison would be something like Unbreakable. Shyamalan,
I still haven't gotten to Unbreakable.
So that's like a different take on a superhero movie, and it's kind of the same thing. He touches people, and he can kind of tell good, bad, and just a more subdued version of a superhero movie, and that's kind of how this is. He's like a superhero, but for God, I guess.
I was like, what would you do if you were a superhero for Jesus?
I'd go around and chop up pedophiles and people who beat their wives and whatnot.
Which is essentially what's going on here. They're not human beings, they're demons. Mm-hmm. And I remember that from the previews for this movie is him saying, only demons should fear me, and you're not a demon, are you? And they don't tell us in the preview who he's talking to, but spoiler, he's talking to one of his own sons.
Yeah, and that's a interesting swerve bro moment in the movie, too, because we alluded to it, but haven't, like, come outright and say it, that this movie is, like, it's 99% flashbacks, so it's it's all being told. It's a story being told to kind of like weave this narrative for the viewer.
It should start with McConaughey going into the FBI agent's office, and you hear his inner monologue going, "Bet you're wondering how I got here today."
That's right. Yep.
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Yep.
It ain't no fucking biggie.
I'm just gonna kill you. That's a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Next
That
generation.
should be. He should have said that when he finally
man.
took the axe to Agent Doyle.
Old Powers Booth.
You're gonna die, clown!
Perfect. We have a good amount of kills, and that is one I definitely labeled for my perfect execution is the execution of Agent Doyle, which I love. Our flashback is like, okay, so why is Agent Doyle a piece of shit? I love their attempt at de-aging Powers Booth. Is he still looks
Has
exactly
long hair.
the same, but yeah, they put
70s clothes.
Yeah,
and
they
long
put
hair.
a fucking shitty wig on him to make his hair look longer, and yeah, some like Paisley kind of
bell bottoms.
yeah, like it's the 60s, but he still looks the same age as he does now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't de-age Powers Booth.
Yeah, because he has all those like pock marks and stuff. He's kind of got like a Edward James Olmos face. Yeah.
That's hilarious because we're still watching Miami Vice at the house, so I see that guy all the time.
Well, sidebar to that then, my perfect execution award is going to go to Agent Doyle. Because it's the best payoff, right? Like, we spend the whole movie setting it up.
Yeah,
so,
it's the longest setup to a kill in cinematic history.
Yeah, and it's like it's well worth it. Like when you finally get the reveal as to why it's happening.
You're on my list.
Yep, and it's so good.
Like, I'd like to know what happened in between Dad's death and Powers Booth's death. Like,
Lots of things.
did McConaughey's character get lists in between those times? Was he killing people during his, teen, early 20 years? Or is it like voting? Like, you're 21 now, you can drink, you can vote, and now you're going to kill demons.
The demons.
But I mean, he starts off killing demons when he's a child still. After Dad gets it, he recovers. Instant recovery. He's like, I got a job to finish.
Yep. Carry on the family business, I suppose.
Like, no! That's a sharp axe too, man.
Yeah. One swing's all it takes.
Yeah, and that head is gone. I'll carry out the sentence, sir.
On to the next. Yeah. Scoop him off to the side.
I was like, well, I guess we'll bury him with Dad, or is that two separate graves? I don't want to dig two graves tonight. Let's just stack them on top of each other. But should we do face to, well, they're both missing. Well, he's missing a head and the other one's got a head. Should we put it face to crotch, face to not? Let's put them face to face. So then the middles can intertwine. And we'll do that. He does the killing and he's like, now you kids dig the burial plot.
Yeah.
Every time.
That part's hard. Killing's like super easy.
Yeah, like, whew, all right.
I'm going to go inside and have a beer and watch whatever. Watch Crocodile Hunter.
I'm not drunk and I'm not crazy. I see these things.
Yeah, and that's another thing. But I'll get back to that after we go to our Brown Panty Award.
Oh, baby. It's time to slip into something a little more comfortable. It's time for the Brown Panty Award.
So, with the Brown Panty Award, the only person that I feel like gets it that shouldn't have gotten it is Dad.
Same.
You know, it has
Exact
to.
same.
It has to go to him because he's telling the truth.
Yeah, we don't know it, and up to that point, we're still like, yeah, maybe Dad should get the axe.
And it's
And then he gets the axe, and he has just the most like, oh, don't punish him. He knows not what he does.
Yeah.
Like he has the most like, I don't blame you for this.
Tell Annie M to let old Yeller out.
Tell Scarlett I do give a damn.
Little Mask reference, deep cut.
I always wonder, what does he tell the brother that he whispers? Is that what he's telling him? It was like, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's better this way.
Yeah.
You get to kill him eventually.
Yeah, he's a demon. He's a demon.
I actually saved all the money from all these people we've killed in a safe. It's in a lockbox under the basement. The combination is 7-4 B.
Yeah. Buried it in a glass jar under the porch. Lost the map. Man. Yeah, so Dad has to get the Brown Panty Award because
Absolutely.
only Bill Paxton can, and this is, again, credit to the editing, the directing, and the acting, but, like, he's so likable and, like, down to earth, even when he's, like, unhinged, and you're like, do I believe him? Do I not believe him? He's still likable. So it's a weird line
Yeah, he does
to walk.
He does a good job of that from Jump Street when he's like checking the kids to see if they brush their teeth, and he's all, ugh.
Yeah, playing around with them, and
Yeah.
he's just extremely likable on camera and has a great chemistry with these kids. So when he dies, it's a super bummer.
It's his only snapping moments where he's getting ready to just kill one of his children, like arguing at the gravesite. Which, if I recall correctly, I think that was like one of the first days they were shooting. So like they're like that got to be a fun day to like start at a 10 with the other actors supposedly on set.
Yeah,
Like, now in this scene, I'm gonna get really pissed and threaten to whack you with a shovel.
yeah, and try and like rein in all those emotions and
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
I do love that one shot where it goes from the past to the present, like almost seamlessly.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff like that in this movie, but I want to bring up my other candidate for my Brown Panty Award,
Yes.
who was almost got it, would be the police officer that we go and convince the cop. Hey, you know, my dad's fucking crazy. Can you come to the house? And he's like, boy, you know what you're doing. Like, you spreading rumors about your daddy. And goes, and it's very much like the opening of Inglourious Bastards, right? Like, it's kind of this cat and mouse conversation back and forth where the cops like asking him questions, and
which really the cop should be picking up on all that shit, because Bill Paxton's like laying down some really like threatening kind of things, like, does it have to be done, son?
Yeah.
At that moment he should be like, hold on,
sir, you're under arrest.
Like, put your hands behind your back. I need backup here.
Yeah, because you're giving me
we need to look in the shed?
Giving me serial killer vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I think I got her number somewhere. Fucking Buffalo Bill in it. Like,
yeah, Bill Paxton's throwing down some real shady kind of answers, like threatening style, at his son, and it was like, yeah, you should be picking up on that a little bit. Hey, he may not necessarily be killing people, but he's definitely abusing somebody in the house.
Oh yeah. And the cop is a little slow to the draw, so to speak. But
that's why he doesn't get the brown painting. I'm
exactly.
like, you know what? You should have seen something coming.
Yeah, you definitely should have. But it's a really good scene, and that's another where I was talking about Hitchcock. It definitely has that rope
that
style.
Dance.
Yeah, a little bit of like we're having some fun, we're teetering, and like you said though, Bill Paxton is kind of going over. I mean, it's Hitchcock, but it's with the Bill Paxton flair, and he's known for kind of like overdoing things, overact a little bit here and there. which is fine because it makes it so much more fun. It's
it's
bigger.
Like I said, it's fun to watch. It's only funny when you're going back to analyze it for a podcast. And you're like, he's really kind of being excessively like sketchy here.
Put your hands on top of your head now.
Yeah, I was like, in reality, I think this would be a red flag.
Yeah.
Maybe I should invest in what this kid's saying. Just a hair at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then he's like, well, let's go check out that shed then. So, I mean, he's humoring him, but he's turning his back on the potential threat.
Yeah, he doesn't
lead me to the shed. That's what it should have been like. All right, go open that shed door. You know what I mean?
Slowly.
Yeah. Like your ass depended on it.
Yeah, but he's doing that towards the kid. He's like watching the kid, making sure the kid's not doing something. Yeah, while the full-grown adult that he's been warned about is behind him.
Yeah.
And standing over him when he is down in the shed.
With a fucking axe. Or no, he shoots him, right? No,
he axes him.
He does axe him. I don't know why I'm thinking gun. I'm thinking I'm crossing a different movie.
He pulls his, may God welcome you.
Fa-blam! Yeah. Look what you made me do, son.
As he, between each shot, look what you made me do. That's on you, son.
Reloads.
Wrong kid's gonna die.
Turn that fucking off-duty cop to applesauce on the floor of that shed.
Don't worry, neighbors can't hear none of this.
Yep.
There's a thunderstorm going on. You ever see Amityville?
That's a true story, you know.
Every bit of it.
Yep. God damn it. Which I suppose should move us in to our next segment, which is where we're going to take a look at the How to Survive, the horror movie survival guide written by the one and only Walter Paisley.
What are we going to learn? How in the fuck are we going to survive frailty?
All right. So, yeah, let's take a look at the survival tip. Boy, I love that crisp crunch of this book. Walter Paisley says, you live righteously or die violently. So I suppose follow the words of the good book, kind of like this is the good book. I would assume. Just
get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah. Behave. Probably just don't don't diddle kids and don't beat your wife and don't
I don't think we need a survival book to tell us that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's every hotel has one in the drawer.
If you become a religious superhero, really look at your options.
Yes. That's the bottom line because Walter Paisley said so.
Jesus.
What? Give me a stone cold says live righteously or die violently.
You gotta live righteously. What? Die violently. What? Die bloody. What? With an axe? With a hammer? With a pipe? With not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots of the 6-shooter? What? Right upside your head? Wham! Drop you.
Yep, ever so slightly.
Put some stank on it.
And
bury in the rose garden.
There it is, yep.
6 feet deep. Work shed.
So good. Just be a good person, really, whenever you're dealing with demon hunting vigilante families who have the power of God shielding.
The power of Christ compels them.
Yeah. Behave. That's all there is to it. Don't be bad.
In the words of Austin Powers, behave.
That's right, baby. Being have is totally his bag, baby. Being have.
Being have.
Yes. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
No, that's clum.
Yeah,
that's clum level stuff.
A clum. Clum
the tree to behave.
Listen here. Clum is a real word. I'm going to die on that.
And behave should be a hyphen word. Behave.
Be and have.
Yeah. I'm being have. I'm going to start using
What
that
is have? What would have be?
Haze, like neutral.
Yeah. When I'm have, I'm just
Everything's
chill.
all right.
Yeah, I'm chilly chill, dog.
I'm haven.
Oh, shit.
I'm haven like Maven.
Well, I suppose on that note, we'll move on to the next segment, which is the tie-in.
It's time for the tie-in. So many movies, so little time. You better pick yours before I pick mine. So watch a double feature. All monsters and creatures. It's a double feature. Oh, death, death, death.
You know, it was mentioned, I think, a little bit earlier, but for me, I'm gonna keep the true crime element tied in, but I'll keep it ultra grounded in reality. So
Okay.
I'm gonna tie in with the old 7.
That's good. That's real good. Also, religion.
Yeah,
All for religion, baby. Not bad.
not bad. I'll probably start with Frailty and I'll end with 7 because I feel, I don't know, I kind of want that one to stick with you on the drive home.
Yeah. Well, and I also feel like 7 is it's not like when we say like a 9 p.m. movie, most of the time that means because there's like gratuitous nudity or whatever. But like 7 never really feels like a noon type of movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Unless it's excessively gloomy, rainy
yeah,
weather
cold
out.
and rainy. But otherwise, it's a nighttime. Like windows open, feel the air,
Yeah.
crisp movie.
Frailty you can watch at dusk.
Yeah.
It's a good dusk movie. But
I like
yeah,
that.
then you go into 7 for your nighttime.
Because also, yeah, Frailty is, for the subject matter, it's a little more lighthearted than 7. 7 is like vicious.
Yeah.
Is a very vicious movie. And
As killing people in the name of the Lord can be.
Frailty has a little bit more class. Doesn't feel as dirty.
Yeah.
7 is Fincher.
It's a grime.
Yeah, Fincher has the grime.
Smells like wet trash.
It does. And with, like wet leather jackets. Because everyone's got
Those smells like Wild Bill's leather shop. I don't
Gross.
wear it. I just make it for them. Guys come in with old suitcases of things.
Well, I kind of went into the tie-in with that same mentality of a little bit of religion, a little bit, maybe true crime-ish. And you are new to this movie. You kind of saw it in passing the last time you visited. I threw it on because I was like, dude, you have to see this. The movie that I used to confuse in my brain, I used to think Don the Dragon Wilson and Tom Skerritt were in this
Oh.
movie. But my tie-in is a weird little off-the-beaten-track movie made for like HBO back in the day called Slaughter of the Innocents. Scott Glenn from Silence of the Lambs is a police officer hot on the trail of this religious, he's a hot man. Scott Glenn is hot. Wow. Chasing after this religious kooky killer man who is trying to
Kooky killer man.
yeah, baby. He's building Noah's Ark, but like on a train. And he's killing everyone religiously. And his son is like a weird 90s computer whiz
How
kid
do you
who's,
kill somebody religiously?
like crucifying them and doing it in the name of God. Always like, there's always a bunch of religious
I
jargon.
like that terminology. Like he killed him very religiously.
Yeah, religion. Yeah, crucifying and like crowns of thorns and all that, like sacrifice, human
Spear
sacrifices.
destiny.
Other religion words.
Religious things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable with a horror film being filmed in my home, because of my religious beliefs.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's not like all those other horror films.
Yeah, it's balls out Jesus.
Yeah, Slaughter the Innocents, kind of slept on. Not nearly as much class as a Frailty. So I feel like it's kind of the same deal, right? Start your evening with Frailty. Frailty's like, I'm going to have a bowl of chili. Like it's hearty, like a warm, bowl of chili in the evening with some cornbread or whatever, and then move on to Slaughter of the Innocents. And Slaughter of the Innocents to me is like, it's dirty, it's grimy, but it has that like made for cable TV like horror.
I was gonna say, what food you gonna tie or a snack or
That's
post chili thing you have with that?
That's your dessert. So that's like your cinnamon rolls or whatever.
Cinnamon roll. Chili and cinnamon rolls.
Yes, that's a
I don't know what I would pick for 7, like a cold hot dog or
like a cold cut combo.
Yeah, there you
Feels
go.
very New York, or like a big giant ass slice of pizza.
New York style, yeah.
Yeah.
A fold in half.
Yep.
Drippy pizza.
Yep.
And then a chili, not a chili, but now you got me thinking of chili.
Chili's delicious.
It's a pizza. Is it a pizza place they're at when they get and they're buying that information in 7, or is it just a random restaurant?
I think pizza, but I could be misremembering it.
Same.
Yeah. I'm not sure, man.
I want to say pizza, but yeah, it's not like they actually order anything.
Yeah. Everything's so wet in 7.
It is. I was like, yeah, maybe some Vienna sausage would work for it.
Gross. I guess, yeah, it ties in with the garbage smell.
Yeah.
For sure.
Slimy, wet, yeah.
Ew.
Little wieners.
That's gross, dude.
Just like 7.
He made me fuck her. But on that note, I suppose we should move on to that next segment, which is what, Evil?
It's time for we picked just one 1-star review.
Hated it.
Today, on the Amazon 1-star reviews, we go to Brian Tomei, Mr. Tomei, on August 6th, 2014. Says 1 star, sick, disturbing movie that no one needs to waste their time and money on. He goes on to say, sick and disturbing movie that no one needs to waste their time and money on. And sick and disturbing movie that no one needs to waste their time and money on.
Whoa, 3 times the charm.
Yep.
3 times the lady once.
He
twice.
titled it, and then the description was it twice over.
But he wasted his time typing that 3 times.
Or did he, copy and paste it?
That'd be pretty fast, I suppose.
I,
Maybe. I don't know, but
Mr. Tomei, after when he's busy ripping papers in half.
I don't I don't know, man. I'm trying to think, is there any true gore in Frailty? It's really reserved, right?
Your only gore is, you get blood splatter when
the guy kills himself.
When Powers Booth, takes out his mom.
Yeah, very Halloween 6.
Yeah, you get, you got an axe buried in Bill Paxton's chest, which not really.
It's not gory. It's just
no. I'm trying to everything else is off screen. All the demon kills are all off screen, but
super reserved. So
maybe just having a kid kill a grown adult is.
It's called matricide when you kill your mother. What's it called when you kill your father? Do you know the term?
Murder.
Well, yes, but there's is it patricide?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Someone let me know if you know. But yeah, it has its very own specific
terminology
term for killing your padre. Maybe there's even a more specific term for when you kill your padre in a weird basement to a shed. I don't know.
Is it more so when you're trying to pretend like you're younger than you are, but you still look like you're 55?
Yeah. Powers Booth just put some hair extensions in, and
it's like Naked Gun 33 1/3, where they're like Leslie Nielsen in the 70s, and it's just him, Kennedy and O.J. Simpson exactly the same, but they just have long hair, and they still look old as shit, but they're far out. I could dig it.
Yeah, you just got to do the Scream 4 trick and put Vaseline on the lens so you can't see into their wrinkles. That works for Courtney Cox.
That's not even. They don't even bother with that. They're just let's put bigger hair on them, and they're younger now.
Well, in Leslie Nielsen's defense, he's always looked like that. I bet you find a
George
baby
Kennedy
picture.
is different though. George,
Yeah.
we've seen young George Kennedy. We reviewed Cool Hand Luke on the YouTube channel. We know what he looks like. He did not look like that in 33 and the Third when he's portraying in the 70s George Kennedy.
No, that's true. But yeah,
I love that just complete I don't give a fuck. Like just put a wig on him like this was 20 years ago.
I totally believe you, dude.
haven't changed a bit in 30 years. He's like the old guy that we were talking about earlier today from Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Dark Side.
Something burns.
Yeah, it's like he's just been perpetually 68 years old.
I was saying Boo Earns.
And Walter Matthau, another guy, always perpetually mid-60s.
Also, why can't I think of his name? The Jack Palance.
Oh, Jack Palance?
Yeah, always old.
Yeah. He looked the same between City Slickers and Batman.
And City Slickers 2.
Yeah, he was a City Slickers, so he played his own twin.
Yep.
City Folk.
He's the man.
I don't think he was cutting Tim Burton any slack on Batman.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you weird little creep.
You don't want to make Jack Palance mad, dude.
I was Curly.
He plays a very good unhinged person. But now that we've done the tie-in and we've done the Amazon 1-star review, that rapidly brings us to the very last segment of the podcast, which is the prop game.
It's time to play the game. The prop game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. Mind your own fucking business, bitch.
That's the white trash guy, right? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Done in the tune of Lemmy.
Yep, very bubblegum poppy sound.
Yes. Lemmy is the godfather of bubblegum pop.
Yeah, pop, yeah.
Yeah.
K-pop.
Yep, that's
I would
him.
love to. We should try that on your
The
one app you have is
lyrics of the Hellraiser or Ace of Spades and then
Yeah.
done as K-pop.
yeah, in K-pop style. I want to hear Lemmy do K-pop.
Oh God. Be terrifying. But that's
Or it's our new theme song. If next time you listen to us, you're hearing that, that's why.
Yep, because it was our brainchild right here, right now.
And it ended up being amazing.
But that's right. It's time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself where you got to pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. We're covering Frailty. What do you say?
Pipe, the axe, and the gloves.
The 3 weapons? Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah.
I would assume.
Which I would laugh. It's funny to look like, I will get these special weapons. The first one that came to me, it's a lead pipe.
Just fucking.
Like,
yeah.
that's a pipe, Dad. That's not a special weapon.
You ever hit someone with it? It's pretty fucking special. I mean, it makes them special. Yeah. Tweety birds and shit.
We're supposed to see birds, not stars.
That's right. It smell pennies. And I'm dead now.
I smell toast.
It's like Belko experiment when he fucking thwops Michael Roker with the wrench.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Leaves that dent in his head.
Oh. Which is what would happen if you got a lead pipe upside your noggin, for sure.
Yeah, not in this movie. This knocks you out for a brief
Yeah.
period of time. You wake up. I like they tried that shit in Always Sunny. Like they kidnap a dude wrote a bad review about him, and they're like, "What should we do?" They're like, let's just bonk him on the head. He'll wake up. We'll put yesterday's paper by his bed. He'll just think it was a whole dream. He'll wake up. He won't know what's going on. So they take a beer bottle, bash it on his head, and throw him in his bed, and gave him yesterday's newspaper. And like, yeah, that's how amnesia works.
No.
Yeah. I think that's pretty sure how it works. You get a bonk on the head. You're either getting superpowers or you just don't remember what happened the day before.
Yeah, or you just die. Like,
or death, yeah.
You take like a moderately powerful strike and you just are dead. Like 2 weeks ago when we covered Terminator, Bill Paxton, even further than 2 weeks, 4 weeks ago, when we covered Terminator, we've both discussed his ginger chuck against the fucking chain link fence or whatever. And
one guy, like, he's got like Arnold is like forearm deep almost inside this guy.
The hashtag forearm deep.
Forearm deep. Yeah, and the other one's just like,
grab him by the face and push him down. He
pushed
us.
Like if it was on par, he should have shoved the Bill Paxton and he should have went through the fence like a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Like just chunks of Bill Paxton just on the other side of the fence.
I'd pay to see that. Good Lord. But I think I'll go first this episode. This is a tricky one, right? Because there's not a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to look at, but there's not a lot of props that scream out to you. So in my research, I came across an interesting tidbit which prompted me for this prop, because in the movie it was even difficult, which is Bill Paxton's Hamm's beer can that he's drinking.
Oh, I've heard this story. Yeah.
That was a vintage can that they got. They had one can for the production of this movie. So anytime he's popping a top on one, he's pantomiming it, obviously. And he's just had this can tucked away, and they'd fill it with water or whatever. And so when he needed to take a drink out of this can, so since there was only one of them, I'm taking that motherfucker.
One can?
Yeah, that is my Hamm's beer can. I don't even know. Never even heard of the brand Hamm's.
It has a weird familiarity to me, but I don't think I've seen one either. But
seems Pittsburgh.
It seems super like I would have seen that in the store kind of thing. It's something very real about it. Kind of like Stay Puft Marshmallows. Like, I'm positive that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Even though I know it wasn't, but it's like I feel like I've seen Hamm's beer somewhere. Like the logo is very just familiar to me. I don't know. I also had an extremely difficult time picking something.
You don't say.
Yeah, I was initially thinking like the Rose Garden like sign, like the overhang sign.
That's good.
But I just got lazy and I was just like, I've always wanted a panel van.
The serial killer mobile?
Yeah, give me the serial killer like van. I've always wanted an emptied out van and like really trick it out, kind of make it like the van from Freddy vs. Jason. Just string some black lights in the corners and put a carpet in there.
The Scooby van wasn't exactly subtle.
TV with like a Blu-ray player in the back, so set that up, pull the fold out a chair, couch into like a bed. Yeah, just live out of this panel van. Fuck windows. I don't like windows.
Hunting down demons, living in the panel van.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evil's panel van.
I suppose my runner-up would be Powers Booth's wig.
His younger Powers Booth costume.
Yes. Yeah. Available now at Spirit Halloween.
We need to do something like that. We need to film something where it's 30 years ago, us younger, and just put a long head of hair on us now.
I have plenty of wigs,
Yeah, we should just do that. Don't shave or nothing. Is it like
all the gray and everything still in here?
Kind of like Black Dynamite. Like, I am younger Black Dynamite, and you are my little brother, and you are messed up on drugs again.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, that's the panel van. Nothing wrong with the panel van. That's it's integral to the plot, but it isn't like one of the weapons. So, I mean, I suppose we could.
Yeah, it's weird to find. I couldn't, like, nothing stuck out. I couldn't think of nothing.
Yeah.
Even watching it, I was like,
the picture of Powers Booth and his mom.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. I was like, Again, some of that stuff I was like, is that deep cutish too much? Enough? I don't know.
Yeah. It's tricky, man.
It's weird. I was also looking at like McConaughey's jacket or his badge, because that's spoiler. We get all the way to the end, and he's the sheriff of another town.
Yep.
Yeah, we get Swerve Broed, and all of a sudden, introduced himself to that one cop, and he has like, I looked right at him, and I that's what makes me think this shit could be real, because you know how many people I've met that's like, I looked them in the eye, they told me their name, I shook their hand, don't know who the hell they are, what
30
they look
seconds,
like.
30 seconds later, it's like, I don't know, man. That's just with us getting old. It's tough.
No, I had this happen probably at least a good 10 plus years ago. So I was still in my 30s in this. I remember this happening. I was with a friend of mine. We went to the Vintage Stock, got a couple of movies, was talking to the cashier lady. We left there, and he's like, she was kind of cute. I was like, the brunette, he's like, she was blonde. I was like, and I'm like, no. I was like, oh, I guess I have no idea who the hell I was talking to.
Like, we don't pay attention. We just go on autopilot when it's like random encounters.
Yeah,
maybe
like
the brain just is like, you don't need this.
I'm just like, got a movie.
Yep. I got 30 years worth of random movie quotes just fucking crammed into my dome. I don't have time to like.
So I'm getting older. I met a lot of demons.
Yeah.
Or God's Hand Killers.
I think it's
great name too, God's Hand Killer.
Yeah.
Don't know where that came from.
It's awesome though. That's something that you would see on like Dateline or whatever,
Yeah, that's like an Unsolved Mysteries.
Totally fits with like the Zodiac or whatever.
Absolutely.
The Hillside Strangler or whatever. It
BTK.
Sounds very grounded in reality.
Yeah, it's snappy.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Headlines. God's Hand Killer strikes again. I can see the paper already.
Maybe we got some demons to kill. Go get some headlines. I don't know. But I suppose on that note, we should probably get going because, after all, a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
Are we going to get us a demon, Daddy?
Thank you for listening to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Fun. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Fun. Yeah. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pie. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut subscribe to the Deep Cut Pike. 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 To the Deep Cut